Okay, so I just wanted to go over how to improve the scene I had from last time where I had all the moving platforms. So the horizontal moving one, the vertical one, and the pivot one. The pivot one we don't need to improve, but just the ones that move in a straight line vertically or horizontally, those are ones I'm going to improve right now. And this is all on GitHub, so don't forget to download from there if you want to follow along and try code with me as I'm doing this in a practice project. That's a player scene right there. Let's look at it real quick. So right now we have it. It's all working fine. The pivot's working great. This one's working. And that one's working. But as you can tell, it's kind of hard to tell the distance between this and this. It's hard to just do that by numbers. So it takes a lot of tinkering if you want to do it that way. But it's a lot easier if you just use something like a spatial, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to change the script, which is the sideways moving platform. I'll just go to the subscenes. Just change the script from there just to make sure I'm editing the right script. Okay, so we have this places array, and we find the second place by doing the global transform plus direction.normalize times speed times time. That's fine. You could still do it that way, but it's very static. What you want to do is you want to make it to where it just relies on you could actually like check whether you can make it easier to test. So let's just add a little spatial. Sure. And let's name it place. And yeah. So right here we have the places array. That's fine. Let's keep that. But here we could change this to simply place.global transform.origin. So that way, automatically it knows to look for that second location. The next thing we gotta change is we gotta find the direction vector between those two. So we're gonna replace all this place.global transform.origin. So that's the place of the spatial, and then just subtract it by this scene's original position. So global transform.origin. Now we got both of those. But instead of this, we're going to put a parentheses right here, take out this parentheses, and just replace this time speed with divide by time. So that way it only moves in increments of that direction vector. Okay, so it gets the total direction, the total distance between these two vectors, and then we just divide that by time, and we have our velocity and our time. So we good. Okay, and then after this, like, we have our places and everything's set up. Everything's set up fine. We won't even have to change any of this. That's all good. We just need to make sure we add a place to this one as well. Spatial. Now we just need to make sure that we don't have the place spatial at the origin of the scene. We need to make sure that it's away from it. So let's make editable children and then move the place station where we want the ending location to be. And now we're just going to set up where the places are. So we're just going to move this like down because it's an elevator. And we're going to move the other one sideways because it's moving sideways. So see this. Let's see how it works. They both have places. And it's moving just fine. The next thing we could do is duplicate the mesh instance of the scene and then put it as a child of place. So that way we can know the dimensions of the moving platform as we're moving the place around. Next we'll just go through all the places children and then just delete all of them. And then just make sure that we only have the spatial and that we don't see the second mesh instance when the game runs. That way it's deleted and it's not there. It's only for us in the editor. Let's go up over here. So now we know we could judge the distance a lot better between this scene. So let's make sure it's like perfect. Okay, that's perfectly aligned with this. And let's go over here. Now it's all reloaded. Now we can make sure it's all perfect with the ground. Okay, there we go. Now that's going to work, and we don't see the bottom scenes, we only see the original. But yeah, it's much easier to tell that way. And even if you want to, you could just like do that for a second. Just put the mesh instance on as a child for a second, and then just like delete it off right after you're done. So we could even do this. Look, we could even delete that, the second one, and save it, and then it'll still work just fine. Because it'll just look through if it does have any children, and then delete all of its children. So that way you could tell exactly how you can make it almost exact to where you want it. See, look, that one actually hits the ground now. I can't just walk over it because I actually got to walk on it. And I got to jump onto it and then boom. Yeah, now we have this. Also, don't forget at this point you could also just remove these two export variables. We don't need direction and speed anymore. Say goodbye. Hell yeah. Alright, see y'all motherfuckers later and have a wonderful motherfucking day.